Nikki Glaser is almost 41, happily in a relationship. Is she? I don't know about that. Hello, my friend, Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and the comedian has gotten everybody talking about her recent appearance on Goopy Gwyneth's podcast. Nikki told Ben Affleck's ex-girlfriend that she and her boyfriend have an open relationship. His name is Chris Convey, and they've been together on and off for about a decade. They've broken up many times, and most always, it's her fault. Nikki has a podcast of her own, and she says that she would often talk about their relationship on her show. Complaining. They don't have any kids. And instead of talking to him directly about any issues with their relationship, she talked about it on her podcast. Nikki says, not because I thought he won't hear them, but they would just come out naturally under the guise of, it's comedy. He eventually heard them and goes, I don't recognize who this person is. Glaser says that when he would confront her, she didn't even remember saying the things she said and realized she should have told him in person. He had a reason to break up with me because it was jarring to him because I was just lying all the time. He really got me to stop lying. I'm better at it. I'm not perfect at it because I still fear abandonment. So there's some issues in our relationship where I fear he's going to be mad at me. All right, even before we go any further, it's clear that Nikki Glaser is delulu. But that's one of the reasons she's a great comedian. And it's also clear that she is the issue, not so much him. As to why they've been on and off for so long, Nikki says, I think the off and on is because committing to anything forever, I think that forever makes me think of no adventures. It's kind of admitting defeat. It's settled. I think it's the opposite. I think forever is such a rock and a comfort, stability, and you make it exciting. But she's not exciting enough for him, or she thinks that, because Nikki is totally cool with an open relationship and actually encourages her boyfriend to F around. I wouldn't mind if my boyfriend were to fool around with other people, she tells Gwyneth. She revealed that it's definitely happened in the past and that she doesn't mind as long as the girl knows that sex is the only thing they're getting from him. I think girls sometimes can be convinced that he's going to leave me for her. It's like, that's not going to happen. So just know what this is. I think it's definitely the competition thing of like, oh, maybe he will leave me for her. Okay, I got to step it up. I kind of like that. But also, I think he's hot. And I kind of am like, try this out. It's like lending my friend a hairdresser. I don't know, like, have a good time. It's a fetish. I've looked into it. It's called hot husband. They're not married, though. And this fetish is not a two-way street. While she's perfectly okay with Chris cheating, she's not the cheating kind. Or a fling, whatever you want to call it, if you don't think cheating is the right word. And she's also not down for any threesome type of situations. Even though he wants her to be. She says she'd rather just hear about it later. On a more psychological level, Nikki says that Dr. Drew revealed to her that this fetish she has stems from a fear of intimacy, and she doesn't agree. She feels she's just so solid with her man, and that it doesn't matter if he gets some action on the side. However, another layer to this fetish, she wants to hear all about his hookups while she's fooling around with him. Quote, I would want us to pretend it wasn't happening and not talk about it and save it as the secret we talk about during naughty times. I'm not a kink shamer. This just wouldn't work for me. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am Latino, needy, jealous, insecure, and possessive. No. I'd rather be alone. Would this setup work for you? And if you're gonna do this, if I was gonna do this, which I wouldn't, this is not for me, I would want it to be both ways. I still don't understand why she doesn't want to do it and is okay with him only. Lots to discuss. Let's get into it in the comments section.